Good morning, all you beautiful people. Let's take a look at our crypto chart this Monday, April 4th. Been doing these videos regularly on Monday and Friday only, and that's a good thing. That means Bitcoin is following exactly the projected outcome, and there's nothing that has changed in the way of my future prediction regarding price action, and everything is just going according to plan. Now, that being said, it's always good to take great caution when that happens in the crypto world. You guys know that crypto, especially Bitcoin, likes to throw curveballs at us. So we should always have our cautionary flags out and be ready for something to not go as planned. And so far for the last 4 weeks, I've done a video on Monday and I've said this is the way it looks like Bitcoin is going to go. It does that. I do it on Friday saying Bitcoin did exactly what I thought. Now over the weekend, here's what's going to happen. It does that 4 weeks in a row. So 8 videos, and we're batting 1,000. And for that reason, if there's any reason to take out a cautionary flag, it would be for that reason alone. Let's jump to our charts here and show you what I got. All right, I got to do a different transition. Hotkey's not working because I got a tab open and that always interferes. All right, so give me a second here to sip the rest of this lukewarm coffee before it gets cold. Okay, so we have Bitcoin above the FOD zone, which is a good thing. Last video, you'll remember I said we're going to come down and test our support. And what was our support? Our support is anywhere from 44,800 to 45,800. Essentially, this whole area in here. Let me recolor that so you can see that. Put that as red. All right, that whole area in there, that is our support zone. Now we did come down and we tested that 44,800 area really quickly. You can see this. Let me zoom in here. You can see this spike through on this daily candle wick right here. So we spiked through that support, and we did actually test support, but it was very quick. Then we went and we trajected right back above the 45,800 mark, and so the test was not as long as really what I would like. To see a healthy retraction, I'd really like us to spend a little bit more time between this 44,800 and 45,800 area. This whole area in here, I think would be most healthy to see Bitcoin really retest that multiple times to establish some strength, to establish a good base. All right, it's not always a good sign just to see Bitcoin move straight up. That's gonna collapse. All right, that type of price action is never sustainable. And you can see on all the charts here, the RSI is getting near overbought territory. Now we have a little bit of room, so we still can go higher, but I don't necessarily want us to go higher just yet. What I want us to do to have healthy price movement is really come in here and just spend some time establishing that as dominant support. All right, and if we can do that, that is a hugely bullish indicator. So do you understand how the bulls and the bears sometimes work together? It's just yin versus yang, black versus white. You have to have negative outcome sometimes to have, actually all the time, depends on perspective. One perspective might be that it's bad, and in somebody else's perspective it might be that it's good. But you can't have everything happen exactly the way you want it all the time. You need to have and be prepared for that drawback. In this case, it's extremely healthy for us to get this more of a drawback. If we don't get more of a test of that support this week, I'm going to start to become even more cautious. All right. I realize that every one of these videos for the last month and a half has played out um, according to plans, and that brings up one caution flag. But if we don't get that test of support, then I become even more cautious. All right, so I really want to see that this week, and that's what I wanted to stress in this video. All right, let's just pop through our indexes here and see if we can gain some more clues, some more insight as to where the market, and specifically our crypto market, is headed. So let's take a look at the dollar here. The dollar is basically eradicating this line in the middle I have drawn. I could almost just take that out at this point because we have crossed it so many times. It's really not even significant. So I am going to take that out. And instead, what I'm going to draw here is a range. Give me another second to drink the rest of this coffee. Sorry guys, I didn't finish this before I started the video. Gotta have my coffee. All right. So what we are doing now is sort of like a downward range. We're range bound, the dollar is, and you can see that it's almost a perfectly parallel channel, and it's descending a little ways. Now this is a sign of strength because this can be interpreted as a bull flag as well. If we zoom out, you've got a nice, we met our target here, and we're establishing another bull flag. So believe it or not, I interpret this as the dollar is going to become even stronger into the future. All right, so that will weigh down on the markets. Potentially, remember, this falls in line with my whole theory that the Fed will not raise interest rates anymore. Jay Powell is going to look for an excuse, whether that be the war in Ukraine, whether that be a strong dollar. There's going to be some. I know we're in crazy inflation, and he should raise it. I know all of that, but I don't think it's going to happen. We are starting to see a flippening of sorts, where the U.S. dollar is losing its attraction globally. So what's going to replace that? For years and years and years, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs that cryptocurrency is going to be the world reserve currency eventually. It's just a matter of time. I think we're starting to see a little bit of that happening. It takes the collective masses a long time to come around with technology. I've noticed I jump on technologies that are way ahead of, and my latest technology that I'm interested in, it will be years before that comes down the pipe. But that's with rare earth magnetics, because I believe that will propel some energy production in the future in ways that would be conspiratorial if I said it here, because it's not mainstream yet, and anything that's not mainstream is conspiratorial. But that is what I see for the future, but I don't expect the collective masses to come around for another 10, 20 years maybe, before we even get there. Look at cryptocurrency. Look how long it's taken. I expected us to hit 80,000, and this was years ago, but it just hasn't happened. It takes people a long time to adapt and come around and understand new technology. And now I call cryptocurrency the boomer crypto, because in my mind it's so old, and there's so much more innovative ways to use the blockchain. But nevertheless, it's there, and I like that people have adapted it, even old people. And it is our lead dog in the crypto market. And so I'm loving the fact that crypto is finally catching on leaps and bounds. We've seen it all over, from small nations adapting it to banks to cities talking about adapting it. To big countries like Russia, talking about accepting it for payment for their petrol, for their petroleum. All right, so that's all good. Got off on a little bit of a tangent there. Dollar is going to stay strong from what I'm seeing here on the charts. Let's move on. VIX has come way down. Remember, VIX is our primary indicator when we're talking about the dollar and the VIX, and they contrast each other. Go with the VIX. All right, if it's a significant drop. In this case, I would say that's a pretty significant drop there. That's a pretty significant candle, but they look like they're tending to neutralize each other today, at least. So we might see just, lackluster performance on the market today. No clear, decisive direction. Let's see if we can get clues from the silver. Silver is down. All right, and gold has a red candle. All right, and it's kind of a doji. So this is all indecisiveness. I think we're going to see today, maybe, unless things change, it's looking pretty indecisive thus far. And our candles that's a hammer candle. So that's a positive candle, but we're kind of bouncing off of this trend line that I have drawn there. So that's kind of expected. So upward movement just a bit. SPY, do we see anything there? All right, bouncing off the 100-day again. All right, just like, well, we bounced off a trend line on the Dow, and SPY is bouncing off the 100-day, going green there. NASDAQ, where's our indicators? They're not drawing in. There they are. All right, we're kind of right in the middle of the 50 and the 100-day, and QQQ bouncing off a support, heading up to what looks to be a bit good resistance right here. So the markets this week may project themselves sort of sideways, and that's kind of what I expect with Bitcoin, right? I hope that we come down and test that support a little bit longer, but that's all part of the sideways movement. All right, we're bumping our heads on the total crypto index against that 200-day. Look how many times we've hit that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and today is 7. All right, so eventually that's going to break. Eventually we go above that 200-day. Will that happen this week? I think it might, because if what I'm expecting with Bitcoin, that we continue sideways movement, that will give the alts a chance to catch up to where Bitcoin is. All right, so a lot of the alts are still around the 50, 100-day moving average. All right, and you can see the total market cap is up here at the 200-day moving average. So we have some alts that are a little laggard in their price action. All right, so they need to catch up to the rest of the market, which is up here, hugging our 200-day moving average. And Ethereum is showing us that. All right, Ethereum tried to pop through that 200-day. Now it's back down, but it's right there at the 200-day average. Now, Bitcoin dominance is a little bit of a surprise to me. All right, it's really has dropped. All right, it looks like actually. Oh, I just spotted this. Well, looks like we have some kind of well, I don't know. Is that a head and shoulders? Could be. I mean, I know that's a double shoulder there, but got a shoulder there, head right here, and a small shoulder right here. Now let's do the measurement. It looks like we could be coming back down to our support way down below, and that's not quite long enough, but I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down and, well, we do have a pivot right there, so I could draw a level. It looks like we are coming back down to that level there at 40.92%. And again, that aligns with my theory that this week is going to kind of give the altcoins a chance to catch up. All right. So if Bitcoin dominance comes down, that makes that tells us that the altcoins are progressing more rapidly than Bitcoin. And that would make sense. Hopefully that also means that Bitcoin comes back down into this area here and really test that support. Once we test that and establish that, the strength of that, then the bulls know that they have their pass to go on further and hopefully break through all of this, resistance shit that we got to get through. All right, and this is true bullish territory once again, especially if we break this green. That's the neckline of this suspected head and shoulders pattern, which I had been saying would not play out. Looks like I'm right on that one. I went against the 85% probability that these head and shoulders patterns play out. And if it did play out, we would have gone to 24,000. Now, could we still go to 24,000? Yeah. That's anything is on the table always with crypto. But once we break back above that neckline, I can then say that head and shoulders pattern is negated, and in that case I went against the 85% probability that the head and shoulders pattern would play out, and that would give me a win on that call way back when I looked like a fool for saying that. And I know I look like a fool many times, but I would be happy to be right, and I think all of you would be happy that I would be right on that as well. Nobody wants to go to 20,000 on Bitcoin. That would be very bad for all of our portfolios. All right, guys, that's my spiel for today. So in closing, look for continued sideways price action this week. All right, as I've already said, we establish our support. Retest of that lower support to 44,800 would be very extremely healthy, as it would help to establish a strong support. A break below, of course, would be very concerning. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Till next time, peace, y'all. Take care.